Welcome, everybody. Those who decided to sit in the far back pew like you do at church, can you hear me? More? They need more. They need more Rob. All right. Is that better? Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm probably more nervous than you are, actually. This is our third one we've done. For those that don't know me, I'm Rob. I'm the current board president of the Ferguson-Florissant School Board. At the table back here, we got Dr. Courtney Graves, our vice president, Dr. Donna Thurman, our secretary, Director Connie Harge, assistant secretary, I'm sorry, Director Leslie Hogshead, Director Jessica Ponder, and to fill out the end of the table, Mr. Scott Ebert. So again, welcome to our alumni, parents, students, concerned citizens, people who live outside the district and is just really curious about what's taking place here. This is our third one. I'm sure, raise your hand if you have no idea what we're going to talk about today. Great, I'm just going to stand here and talk to you. All right, that's great. What brought us to this day is a conversation that's been going on for a very, very, very long time. I've been on the board for 7 years, and I know I've been part of those conversations. I've had them with parents. My kids go to school here, and one actually finished. He's now in college. Been having conversations with teachers, with staff, with people just in the community about the direction of our school district, where we were, where we want to be. And in my first talk that we did at McClure, it was all about evolving. You know, this district of ours has a very rich history of being the foreground for parents as teachers and full-time kindergarten. We've restructured Redistrict twice. And so we keep evolving and moving. But the reality is that we really haven't done a very good job of explaining in deep detail of why we need to do this. And for those that don't know, you know, we've been pretty stagnant with our school district. We've been pretty much the same, hanging in there, fourth, fifth in the metro area for school districts, where we're currently the second worst school district in the metro area based upon APR. Now, for all you APR haters out there, and there are plenty, that we shouldn't gauge the how well our students are doing by the APR. It is what people looks at. You know, when businesses want to move in, they're looking at how strong the school districts are. When people are looking to buy houses, they want to look at the school district. Everything is based upon the foundation that we put in our schools and our kids. If our communities are going to be vibrant and to grow, they need, and we need, a very strong school district. And what we've been doing for a very long time hasn't been working. We have a lot of students that we keep leaving behind. And we keep tweaking and doing things here and there to try to make positive change. And every now and then we see a uptick. You know, increased scores in reading in third grade, increased math scores in the sixth grade, end of course exams. We have more kids in AP now. You know, we keep doing some positive things, but it's not enough. So what we did about a year and a half ago, we gave our administrators, or Dr. Davis, a responsibility of looking out and examining the school district and figure out what can we do differently to make tremendous gains in our school district. So the team's been meeting for well over a year. The board hasn't been part of those conversations. You know, they just would ask for a little bit of advice here and there, but what they've done was meet, run data, do tours, and really try to figure out a school district that's going to really push us forward. And so tonight, they're going to release 3 options that they came up with. No decision has been made, okay? They're going to give you a timeline. Ultimately, it's going to be a board decision. That's what we do. But this is just one of the many opportunities that you're going to be able to hear from me and my board members, as well as, most importantly, the administration about these particular plans they're going to introduce to you. So we're going to take questions today through your cards. Hopefully Dr. Davis will be able to cover most of them during his presentation. But we're also going to be able to have smaller meetings, coffee houses, people's houses, things like that. We're going to be presenting at City Council. Councilwoman Jones is here from the City of Ferguson. We're going to be there tomorrow night. So she gets to hear a very abbreviated version of this because it's all about partnerships. We're going to reach out into the community. We want to hear from you. But as we have these conversations, let's talk about and think about what can we do to move our district forward. Because if we say no, you're actually saying yes to something. And you have to decide what that something's going to be. So thank you. After all the presentations tonight, many of us will stay afterwards and we can have conversations with you. We're not going to run away and hide or anything. We want to engage you. All right? So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Graves. She has a few remarks. After Dr. Graves will be our Executive Director for Communications. He'll talk to you a little bit as well. So thank you very much.
We don't know what tomorrow will bring, but we do know we have to do something different for our students in our district. Currently, we know that we have schools that are failing. We have schools that are low capacity. We have money going into schools that need to be closed. We have students that need to be pushed further than they have ever been pushed before. We have toddlers in our district that need to be in our schools. We have Congress right now trying to make the decision if they want to bring charter schools right here in our district. We cannot allow that to happen. We cannot continue to do business as usual. So Rob talked a little bit more about our why. And the need is for us as a district to do something. After our last meeting as a board member, I took a step back and spent some time researching on how redistricting can affect the community. I spent time looking at what can happen if we close schools and communities without having a plan to repurpose our schools. It will be important as we move forward with every option that we meet with the community leaders to discuss how it would affect our communities. The school district is the glue that keeps the communities together, and we have to ensure that we do just that. Thank you. Kevin?
Thank you, Dr. Graves. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's good to be here at McClure North. This was my home for a long, long time. I want to share with you a couple of housekeeping pieces that I think will help you get your questions answered. So first of all, in the back of the room as you came in, there were green cards. If you did not pick one up, if you'll raise your hand, some of our team will come through and they can hand you cards so that you'll be able to write your questions on them. During the course of the presentation and this evening, people will come around, they'll pick those up from you, and they'll bring them up to the board so that they can go through and try to group them into related questions. You'll also hear Dr. Davis answer several questions that have come up many times over the last couple of weeks, and so he'll address those. Our team has been working, they were working up until shortly before this event this evening to answer all of the questions that have been submitted over these last two sessions. And so at some point tonight, after this ends and we get a little bit of time to get it up on the website, you'll see answers to all of the questions that have been submitted from the last two town hall meetings. And then in the coming days, any questions that aren't answered here this evening will also be added, the questions and answers will be added to the website. Also on the back table is a white half sheet of paper, and it gives you some information on how to follow up afterwards. If you go to our website or you just type in www.bergflor.org/strong, That will take you straight to a page that has all kinds of information about the restructuring process. There's a link to all the questions and answers. There's a link to the timeline. There's several different pieces of information that are there. We've had a lot of sickness on our team, and so last week's town hall video is not up yet. It will be up soon, but the town hall from the first one at McClure is up there, and you'll see the one from tonight up there soon as well. But lots of information there. And then if you think of another question after the meeting tonight, you can either write down the number that you'll see up here on this screen and text in a question, or you can use the link that you'll find on this sheet of paper back there. But lots of different ways. Tonight is for questions to be submitted, and they'll answer as many as they can. But then you'll also hear, as Mr. Chabot shared, there'll be many opportunities over the next 5 months for conversation and for you to have those more intimate conversations than what you can have in a big group setting like this as well. So at this time, I think we're ready to turn things over to Dr. Davis, our superintendent. And we thank you again for coming out this evening.
Testing 1, 2. Testing. So we do have pretty similar presentation that we've done over the last 2 town hall meetings we've had. So this is the third of 3 that we had initially begun scheduling out so that, can't hear me? I'll use the other microphone. Testing. Can you hear me now? That better? So what I said was we had originally scheduled 3 town hall meetings. This is the last of the 3 for the initial presentations so that everybody could see what those 3 options are. No decision has been made about any of these yet. The board will decide around October which option that they may choose to go with. These meetings have been to inform the community on where we are right now. So I'll go through much of that right now. I have a quick video I'll show you so that you can sort of get a sense of what direction we're going in terms of the district as a whole. I will tell you that we've been working on this for the last year and a half or so and thinking about our facilities, thinking about our performance as a district in terms of academic performance, but always keeping our students at the center focus of all of this. So here you see a quick timeline, and there are a couple of things up there, but the only one I would probably want to highlight right now is that we are in April, and from here to October, we'll do a number of additional meetings in the community. We had mentioned earlier about some of the coffees and smaller settings, but let me just say that, so we've listened to everything people have said to us, and we'll do the same thing tonight. And so as we've been thinking about the questions, you have the green card with you. I would ask that you just hold on to it until you hear most of the presentation. We have put up some questions that we've gotten from the last 2 meetings we've had so far. And so hopefully some of those questions that you may have in your head now may get answered with some of the questions we've already gotten from people in the community. But those meetings, we will do smaller settings from themes that have emerged so far from the meeting we've already had at McClure, as well as at McClure South Berkeley. And then we'll take tonight's questions that may be different than what we've already gotten and use those as we are thinking about our smaller community meetings. May we'll have, again, some more stakeholder coffees, June, July. Dr. Ed Humboldt is here with us. If you just raise your hand, Dr. Humboldt. He is part of MGT. They are doing the facility studies, and so you'll hear me and maybe some others refer to the facility studies that we've commissioned, the board has commissioned for us is underway right now. They are in the schools meeting with people in the school district to specifically look at what our facilities look like and to give the board data about what schools are in the best shape and what schools do we need to think about in terms of the restructuring of our school district. We'll do some things in the summer, but that's going to largely depend on been made in terms of what the summer looks like. Folks do a lot of traveling and vacations in the summertime, and so we'll respond based on what the need is, and we'll do some re-engagement as we move towards August and September with ongoing community engagement. And then we'll do a final presentation to the board at our October meeting. The board has the second Wednesday as the original, or rather traditional meeting we have, the second Wednesday of every month, and then reserve the fourth Wednesday for any additional meetings that the board can have on a monthly basis. So just quickly about the future of our schools and the urgency of change. As I said at the last two meetings, and I'll say it again tonight, it's about the future of our children, the education that they get and are getting, and what needs to improve in order to make sure our children are ready for whatever they choose. Let me say that I know every child will go to college, but that's their choice. Our duty is to make sure they're ready for whatever their choices are. If they want to go to college, fine. If they change their mind on graduation day and want to do something different, they ought to have both options. Whether they want to go to work and decide they want to go to college. And so there's an urgency for us to make sure that we're thinking about what skills all of our students have in their head when they graduate on graduation day. And that's really what's important. And so there's an urgency for us to make sure that we get ready for that. So I'm going to show you a quick video. I've shown this video, and it really is about public schools, where we've been and where we are now and where we need to go. Because the truth is, we cannot keep doing business the same way that we expect that our outcomes. That's the bottom line. We cannot change, and what will happen is it won't be good for the future of our children. There's a need to change. As a parent, as a superintendent, as a community taxpayer, there's a need for change in our community. And it's a community effort. So let me say that one of the things you both alluded to earlier, and what people's roles are, let me be clear that our role is to serve the board and the community. The board is commission administration. They come up with options, and that's what we've done. We've thought about all the data. There's been no haphazard decisions made about anything. We've used factual data from our schools, from our performance, and we're getting more data to help inform the decisions that the board will make in terms of what the next direction is. Okay? So just have a quick look at this video.
This is America in 1900. This is a car in 1900, and a phone, and a high school. This is America in 1950, and a car, and a phone, and a high school. This is today. A car, a phone, a high school. Whoa, back up. So cars are now this, and phones are now this, but high schools are still that. American high schools are based on the same model, and it's been over 100 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
But why? In 1900, it made sense for high schools to prepare students for that. But in 2018, shouldn't they be preparing students for this, and even this? So why are we still granting diplomas based on the time a student spends in a seat? Why are we still using the Carnegie Plan, which was developed in 1906 and says the formula for learning is 4 years sitting at a desk multiplied by one subject taught at a time equals students ready for the future? All questions, execute the Super School project, asked America to help answer. There was a competition. Not that kind of competition, this kind. The kind where communities across the country come together to rethink high school. So every student, everywhere, can be prepared for the future. And that's big, like really big. Like the largest open call in history to redesign high school big. This is the hard work that went into it. 10,000 people across the country became school builders. And thanks to them, there will be brand new ways of teaching and learning. Starting with America's first super schools. Schools that will let students learn by doing, that focus on the future, and spark curiosity. Schools that build community, unleash potential, and solve real-world problems. Schools that will ask their students what they think, and will actually listen to them. Students, like me.
So just a couple of definitions I wanted to just highlight quickly. I'll read these really quickly because our first one is about equity, because I often get a question that sort of goes back to this. And equity assures that all students are given access and support to attain a high school education that prepares them for college and or career as they choose. Access to equity, access to what they need so that they are ready. And let me just point out that equity and equality are not the same. The next one is fiscal responsibility, and that's a lot of the questions that we've gotten so far, and maybe some of the specific as well. Is assure that the board and the administration are making decisions that effectively and efficiently puts tax dollars to use for educating all children so they're ready for college and career. So here is just a map of what our current district looks like. And these are schools from the north all the way down to the southern part of our district. Lakewood being sort of up here, and very north of our district, and then all the way down to Holman and some of our lower schools. We have about 25 facilities right now that specifically have educational programs for students. Some of our schools are not at capacity. Some of them at 30 and 40% capacity. We may have a school that could hold, 1,000 students, just using a round number, and it has about 300 in it. That's just an example. But we have some school buildings that have small numbers of students in it that could have a whole lot more. And so that isn't necessarily an efficient use of the facility. But also, what we have to do is think about what are the conditions of that entire facility. Looking at the educational suitability of it, looking at the HVAC system, and all other things that make it function well. And so we're getting all of that data so that the board can have that. And we'll be presenting that this summer and then the beginning of the year as we begin back in August. So here's just a quick view for those who may not have seen this of our enrollment over the last 10 years. It goes back to 2005 all the way up to 2016. And when you look at it, the enrollment has gone down some, but that's about 2,000 students over the last 10 years, which is not as much as what some claims were when we look at census data from the last 10 years, census every 10 years for the last 10 to 20 years. So we've been flying some, but we still have over 10,000 students. That number is even more if you add in our pre-K students. These are just our K-12 students. So here are three options. So tonight I'm going to talk specifically and briefly about those three options that we presented at the other two town hall meetings. Option one is on the board here. Right now we have three areas, area 1, 2, and 3. Area 1 at the bottom here is the southern part of the district, and that's McClure South Berkeley currently. Area 2 is McClure, and area 3 is McClure North, which is where we are tonight. And all the schools feed into that high school feeder pattern. So the change would be essentially changing the boundary lines in option 1. So in option 1, this boundary line at the bottom here is actually airport, Hereford, Chamber. And that would be the boundary for the southern part of the district. So every student who is south of this boundary line, this natural line, would be going to McClure South Berkeley. This next boundary line is St. Anthony. And every student who lives on the southern part of St. Anthony all the way down to Chamber and Airport will go to McClure. And then north of St. Anthony will certainly come here to McClure North. Now here are just three views of each one of those areas. Area 1, here is sort of a shift in the numbers. Currently, if you look at our 912 capacity, area 1 is McClure South Berkeley. We have about 450 to 60 students there now. This change would put about 780 students at McClure South Berkeley, and then all the other students that would feed into it. Throughout every one of our options, we'll have a P2-3-5 model. What that does is it shifts from our current kindergarten through 5th grade and area 1, and then the other areas is kindergarten through 6th grade. So it'll make every one of our areas pre-K through 2nd grade. So we would start serving, we already do, but we would expand our services to our 3 and 4-year-old students, as well as be thinking about preparing them for 3rd grade through 5th grade. One of the great things about this option is that our pre-K2 students will have an opportunity to be in a school where we can really focus deeply on child development. What we do know is that by the time students get to third or fifth grade, if they haven't had that early ed experience, then they tend not to do as good as the ones who have had. We've seen a lot of data that every time students who have gone through our early ed programs, by the time they get in third grade and beyond, they do better in math and in ELA. And that's what we're after. It's not just for them to learn and grow and be socialized well, but also have the academic skills to be successful as they move through high school. So the nice part about the P2 schools is that there is no state testing. State testing begins in third grade. So that gives principals in those schools an opportunity to go deeply around child development and prepare them for third grade when testing actually begins. Then certainly have our 6th through 8th grade, and then certainly our high school and MSB will be 784 students. And these are projected numbers, but they're pretty accurate based on our current enrollment. Area 2, which is the middle area, and that's McClure. I spoke about earlier, between these two boundary lines, you have about 1,106 students in our P2, and these are just the numbers of students that live between those lines that are of that age. Again, the schools, some of the questions that have come about would be which schools. We won't know that until after we get our facilities assessment. If you just specifically look at the high schools, then 912 McClure would have about 1,163 students thereabout. They have about just a little below 1,000 right now. Likewise with P2 through 5. And then similarly in option 1, we have about 1,051 students here at McClure North. McClure North has tended to be the school with the most high school students in it. And so that would shift and balance the numbers of high school students we have in each one of our facilities. Currently, McClure North has, we normally strive for about 1,600 students, and then we normally end up with about 1,400 or so students, and those are just estimates. But we're around those numbers about now, around 1,400 or so students now here at McClure North. So this will be option 1. Option 2, we would begin focusing on, well, one thing I didn't say, I'm sorry, with option 1 is that the board has already approved, this is for our STEAM school. So we currently, with the bond that passed a couple of years back, we started the 6 acre school that's over on Dunn Road. So what we did do was go ahead and take a look at our current 8th grade students who are at the STEAM school and thinking about what happens to them for next year, because we don't have a specific space. We looked at a lot of spaces in preparation for our current 8th grade students who are in the STEAM school and what would happen with that next year. One of the purposes of the bond was that we would have a STEAM program and we actually be able to use those dollars to create an entire facility for our students, which is a great opportunity for them. And so what the board has already approved is for next school year, for students who are currently in the 8th grade at the STEAM school, they would come here at North. And so, and those are good reasoning behind that, largely because of the numbers of AP classes that are already available here for the current students, right? We are looking at what the future looks like, of course, but what we didn't want to do was to not give our 8th grade students who are at the STEAM school right now an opportunity for what next year looks like until the board decides on which option we're going to go with so we can build out a long-range plan. Right now, 9th grade for 2018-19, we'll be moving over here until we get to option, whatever option the board chooses, and whatever option it is, we will build out a facilities plan or a long-range plan. Here's option 2. Option 2 would just be 2 traditional comprehensive high schools. We have Area 1 and Area 2. Option 2 would be Area 1, the natural boundary would be 270. Everybody who lives south of 270 will go to McClure High School. McClure would be the high school that all students will live below 270. And then the blue dot here would be McClure South Berkeley, and that will become the 912 STEAM school. Then north of 270 would be McClure North here. So all the students who live north of 270 would come to McClure North High School. Here are the numbers a little bit larger, so you can take a look at what those numbers look like. Certainly it increases the numbers of students at each one of those levels because we only have sixth grade center and a seventh and eighth grade center. So we would still have the 6-8 middle school concept, but what we would have would be a sixth grade center where all of our sixth grade students that are within Area 1 would go to one facility, and then they would go to seventh and eighth grade at the seventh and eighth grade facility. If you look at those numbers, that equates to about 390 students, which is about the size of our Berkeley Middle School right now. So it's not a terribly big school in terms of numbers. And then certainly our seventh and eighth grade will be about 790. Now, across the district right now, if you look at kindergarten all the way through 12th grade, and you look at the current enrollment, we have about 750 to 800 students per grade level. So if you begin to parse it out, you'll see that sort of falls in line. And to be exact, it's pretty close. We have about, and that's just 390 for Area 1. Okay? And then Area 2, which would be McClure North, where you are now, and option 2. All the students from north of 270 will come here to McClure North, and they will begin at the sixth grade center, and put those two together, 360 and about 390 on Area 1, that gives you a little better than 750 students in our sixth grade. So that gives us a sixth grade center in Area 1, as well as a sixth grade center in Area 2, and likewise for 7 and 8. It keeps intact, P2, 3, 5 throughout, because it really speaks to our early ed program. In fact, I had a meeting on Friday and met with the staff in our early ed program, and they will be intimately involved in how we build that out and what that looks like. There is no long-range plan, can't be yet until the board decides what direction we go in, and from there we'll begin that process. That puts about 1,441 students here at McClure North. So that's option 2. Option 3 is one comprehensive high school. That would be one school for the entire district. So that's why the board here is one solid color, and then we still have the 9-12 STEM school that was South Berkeley. That would give, it's a little bit larger, about 3,000 students at the high school. Now that number would change if the option were chosen, because some of those students would also be at the state school, and then we broke it apart by 9, 10, and then 11, 12. Now all of the students would be on the same campus, of course, but this would call for a new facility altogether. And that new facility altogether, so that there have to be some design work that would have to happen in order to make it so that you have a 9th grade academy, if you will, a 10th grade one, as well as our 11th grade. Currently, the school is already doing the freshman academy. And so students are specifically in a space that's separate, because one of the things that we do know is that when students get to 6th grade and 9th grade, those are two critical pivotal points in a child's life. And what we find in our data and data across the country is that those 2 grades in particular, you have higher failure rates in terms of grades for students at 6th grade as well as in 9th grade. And so we have to respond to that by giving additional support there. So this would be one comprehensive high school in option 3. And of course, I Berkeley with the 9-12 STEAM school in option 3. Area 1, when we specifically think about just here, we would still have the one high school. We would still have our P2 through 7-8 schools. That's pretty much the same numbers that we saw in option 2. And likewise, with option 3, we have pretty similar in terms of our students in pre-kindergarten through 2nd grade, all the way to 8th grade. In option 2 and option 3, we still keep intact those 6th grade centers as well as the 7th and 8th grade centers. But what you would have would be option 1, we have 3 schools pretty similar to the current makeup that we have now, changing some of the boundary lines. Option 2, you just have 2 comprehensive high schools and then the state school. And then in option 3, we have 1 comprehensive high school and then the state school. So we have, just to sort of get to the end before I put a few questions, and then I'll stop and open it up for additional questions. So the deciding factors certainly are these meetings that we're having now, and additional meetings that we'll have. So this is the current meetings that we're having. We also will have a public presentation of the building assessment system. Dr. Humboldt and his team will come and deliver to the community a RFP out to get someone who has done this work and who can give us some good factual data for the board to be able to make a decision. They'll come and do a pretty comprehensive presentation to the community, and that information also will have an opportunity for some comments there as well, and questions, and then that will go to the board. We've also, have gotten support from folks in the community in terms of having smaller conversations. I've gotten emails, calls, texts, and we would love to set up smaller conversations, more conversations, so that we can hear from the community board. So input from stakeholders, and then finally everything will go to the board, and in October the board will make a decision on what direction to go. It's from there that administration then gets the charge from the board to begin building out the Kingsley Plan. Okay, and we'll do a 3, 5, 7, 2-year view of what that plan looks like. So if it's option 1 the board chooses and no option has been chosen, whatever option the board chooses, we will go from there and begin building out what that long range plan looks like. Here are a couple of the questions that we've gotten so far. As you can throw those up, you may have already written down some questions on your green card, or you may see some of these questions here. So what is the procedural model that we follow in reallocating teachers to the K-2 and 3-5 schools? Any reassignment of any teacher will follow our district policies and procedures. We'll follow what's already in place. What will be the teacher-student ratio with these options? That question came up last week, I think, at Berkeley, and I'm not sure if it came up that before. But the response is that the teacher-student ratio tend to fluctuate based on enrollment pattern, but should not exceed the DESI guidelines. Let me be really clear about that point. We've been talking quite a bit about staffing and a lot of different examples. Student enrollment drives teachers and the number of teachers that we have. The more students we have, and certainly that will determine our teacher capacity. So every time enrollment changes, then definitely our teacher capacity changes as well. But we will follow DESI guidelines every way. How will teachers be assigned, grade level, and building? Will assignments be by choice, regardless or need? Will some buildings close? Assignments of teachers will be according to the recently approved collective bargaining agreement. We signed that not too long ago, and so everything that we do here will certainly fall in line with that agreement that we have in place with the association. As well as District Policy 1016, voluntary transfer and involuntary reassignment. It is uncertain at this time whether any school building will close since we don't have the assessment system done yet, but when that's completed, that will inform what those buildings are. Sports. How will the school compete with other schools as far as athletics? All high schools combined into one. This is the question again. We reached out to Misha and we've been asking lots of questions. Athletic opportunities for students will continue. In some cases, there may be an increase in athletic offerings for students to compete at the secondary level. But we will still have athletics and it will be full blown. What will be available to students that rely on sports connected to high school? So just a quick response to that, in the larger high schools, there are several additional opportunities for some sports that you can't have necessarily in a small school because of numbers. Numbers drive everything. Misha allows schools to have one varsity team, but can have multiple freshmen, sophomore, and JV teams. Additional sports might even be a possibility if we have more students in one location. There was a question concerning option 3. Where will the high school for option 3 be built? The district would likely use an existing property in order to build a new high school. Information from the basic system will absolutely inform where that would be. Another question was a student-to-teacher ratio for option 3. Studies have already shown larger classes affect students academically. With this option cause overcrowding in classrooms. Again, classroom sizes will still be maintained under district guidelines. You even if you have a larger school, the numbers of students in the school will determine the numbers of teachers to be assigned to the school. Whether you have 500 students in the school, or whether you have 1,000 students in the school. 500 students in the school requires 700 teachers, and 1,000 students would require more. So it really depends on the student enrollment, and that's what will drive teacher-student ratio. But what I can tell you is that we'll always stay within NSA guidelines. In fact, this year, what we've been already doing is looking at our staffing, specifically at our secondary school, because we see the need in our K-2 classes in particular to make sure that we give teachers in kindergarten and first grade and second grade, which is what the research clearly tells us, kids benefit from much smaller class sizes at those early ages, but especially students who have not gone through early ed programs. And so if we can get more of our students going through our early ed programs, then it's going to put us in a good position in the year to come. The one thing I enjoy with this school district is that everybody knows everybody. How would that happen with a school of 3,000 students? Students will be given an opportunity to participate in activities and programs that provide them with opportunities to meet the same interests, as well as provide them with a variety of other students in other areas. Here's what I will say quickly about that is, we have some students here tonight. I personally met, especially that in March when we had the walkout, with students that we brought about 45 or 50 students together from each high school. I personally went to every high school. In fact, we sat right over there in that little area of the table during one of the meetings we did. We were in the advisor. And so I personally met with every high school, specifically talking about their voice. And one of the things that always emerges from those meetings is that students say we don't have opportunity to come together. All the time when we do is through sports, and so they would like opportunity to be one district united. STEAM related was a question around STEAM. Just spend tons of money on our current STEAM school. The STEAM's a waste. The voters of the district passed a bond with a portion of the proceeds to be used to build a STEAM school or build a STEAM learning center. The district has met this obligation and is interested in expanding those opportunities all the way to high school. We started 6A, and it absolutely makes sense to give our students an opportunity in 9-12 as well. How will this affect PRO was the question at hand. PRO, which is our gift education, is an important part of our long-range plan. We will have more detailed plans for PRO and the locations based on the building assessment system. What I can tell you is that PRO used to be in the district, students who've been identified and gifted was, and the state requires 150 minutes per week. And we still meet those obligations with our second grade through our fifth grade. Our sixth grade students last year started going every day, so they were getting full doses, and then it expanded to the current STEM students as it is now. So we still serve our PRO students in grades 2 through 5. And those students are served at Duchesne. We have our 6-8 students who are at the STEM school, and then next year, our current 8th grade class will move over here until the board decides the direction we go. Since the floor north is overcrowded, why not just send STEM students to MSD where there is room? And currently, no school is overcrowded. There is room. I mean, we have more students at North. None of our schools are overcrowded. In fact, one of the reasons we're doing this work is because we have a number of facilities that are under capacity and not being efficiently used. How would students for the STEM Academy be chosen? Where does that leave the underachieving students? The district is focusing on providing high-quality education for all our students. With the district provide restructuring, the district will be able to provide additional resources for all of our schools and all of the programs. The district is currently reviewing and identifying additional supports for all of our students. And someone mentioned that earlier about advanced placement. We got IB that's already been approved for their campus school here at Fort and we want to expand that work as well. Again, it doesn't mean the child is going to go to college because they take a college level class, and it makes sense for them to get that exposure in high school. So if they so choose later on, they've had the experience of rigor, so they're ready to work once they're ready to high school. What is the purpose for restructuring? It is to absolutely look at our tax dollars and to make sure we're providing a high quality education for all of our students. The district is not currently maximizing our facilities usage. Our restructuring will increase its footprint first and second grade classes, additional support, because especially when a child who hadn't come to us with early ed period, and then they get in kindergarten, they're having to socialize with students who have had that experience, then kindergarten teachers in particular need additional support, but we think that education. A couple more, the college idea seems to be the exclusive focus of the district, whereas the career education office is a really good question. The district partners, certainly good North Tech, provides many career opportunities. In addition, East High School provides Project Lead the Way, other programming that is not currently offered at no kind of tech. Let me say that, that's a great question around career technical education. And whenever we build out any program, it really is about the kind of career which people do. And again, everybody won't necessarily decide to go to college. So what opportunities are there that are available? I can tell you that DOTW, we in the board approved a couple of months back, our computer science, coding, you don't have to go and get a degree, but you have to have the training, and there are many opportunities for students who want to do that work and other kinds of work. Money, whatever your desire is, students ought to be able to have the opportunity to decide on a career and a career path, as well as if they wanted to go to college. In the case of option one, those students be able to be grandfathered into their high school for the senior year, so they don't change right before graduation. This certainly is a consideration, but necessarily hasn't been determined as of yet. Who would stakeholders under the input section of the timeline slide? Parents, students, district residents, local officials. I've been doing community and parent advisory meetings for a long time, and it's absolutely open to anybody who wants to come. What is the timeline to begin and complete these options? Again, October-ish is when the board will likely make a decision. So you can ask them to go to www.firstboard.org/strong, and you get certainly a whole lot more detail than who are the stakeholders under the input? I think I can answer that. Timeline. In option 3, we're going to do high school. I think I can answer that as well. I did the district spend $3.6 million on a building in November 2016. The district purchased the building as part of the building for the bond. And currently, if we had, so the first floor of the gym school is 6 acres. The second and third floor, administration will be moving from the current station just across the way to the second and third floor. Let me say that this was done before I got here. I actually took a deep look at it, what were some of the projections for renovating that space over there, because our folks who work in the administration building have to have a place to work as well. And let me tell you, they would have taken, and this is a couple years back, about $26 million to renovate that space across the way. And that certainly is an improvement. When you think specifically about renovating a space that isn't necessarily serving a student, right? What kind of building facility improvement will be made after these building assessments? And so MPT will also give us a really comprehensive view of where our buildings currently are, but then they'll also give us an idea of the opportunity to, and the board will decide whether or not we keep a building open or close it. What's the most fiscally sound option? All three options will improve our physical buildings, our schools, and give us more resources in every one of our buildings. Will there be a tax increase for homeowners in any of the options? A tax increase is actually possible in any of the options. Option 1, option 2, or option 3, depending on the information we get from the building assessment system and what our buildings will need. So we'll decide on whatever option, there could be a tax increase for either one of those options. Will preschool be full day and free for buildings, 4 buildings per area? Preschool model is currently being studied. As I said, I met with our early ed folks on Friday. The pre-K and second grade schools will be identified after the building assessment system is done. And we want to identify more students who are our 3 and 4-year-olds. But we provide child care, but we're specifically looking at our 3 and 4-year-olds and support our students who aren't necessarily ours right now, more students in. Okay? So those are all the questions that we've gotten so far. And so I know that thinking about questions that we anticipate this evening. So I may defer to some of the staff members who have more expertise than I do in a particular area. So I can't read the name. Griffin, I'm sorry. So if options 1 and 2 is chosen and no new buildings are required, how soon will the restructuring process take place? That's a good question, Ms. Griffin. So each one of those options will certainly require a different timeline. One of the things we said earlier was that in October, when the board makes a decision, we'll build out a long-range plan, a master plan, that will be a 3, 5, to 7 year. It's hard to give you a definitive answer because we don't know necessarily until we get the building assessment system that will determine what school buildings are best suitable and what kind of space is there. Okay? And so it could be that we get those assessments back and we have to make some adjustments based on the size in terms of the options that we have. So it's going to depend on the building assessment system. And once we get that, and the board makes a decision in October. Once they make the decision, each one of those options will provide a plan. Does that make sense? And what I tried to do last time, and also this time, is I'll read the person and then the question. And if you have a follow-up while I'm reading your particular question, I encourage you to engage at that point. I'll be more than happy to listen and try to respond to this. I can't ask somebody else to step up. This question is from Ms. Candace Williams. So Ms. Williams, what will happen to the old admin building after the move? How will it be put to use? That's a question that's come up quite a bit, Ms. Williams. So to renovate that building, we know 2014 will cost roughly about $26 million. That's not necessarily a good investment in a facility that is necessarily going to house students. So the board will have to decide what happens to that facility going forward. It's Mosley, Danielle Mosley. Danielle or Danielle, I'm sorry. The layout of each option only provides the specifics on high schools. Will there be any changes within the school boundaries for middle schools and elementary schools? So each one of those options 1, 2, and 3, so we kind of focused on that high school piece, but in option 1, we would have certainly middle schools in each one of those areas. Option 2 and 3 is a little bit different because I mentioned earlier we'll have a 6th grade center on both sides of the district. So you would have option 2, for example, and you have 2 areas. You would have a 6th grade center that would house all 6th graders in the 7th and 8th grade center as well. So absolutely, I think the biggest shift for elementary across each one of those is the pre-K2 component. And it will change from the current structure, which is K through 5th grade, area 1 right now, and 6 and all the other schools, and make it pre-K2, and then 3 through 5. And I think that's huge because we're really focused on top of that. Yeah, there was another question. There are rumors that FFSD bought the Snubs in Food Valley. Is this true? If so, what will it be used for? That is absolutely not So what are the plans for an alternative our alternative program has to be redesigned altogether. I actually mentioned this. So I actually mentioned this in our last meeting, actually, especially at the board. So we actually have a number of people that will be engaging with us on what the alternative program looks like. Thank you. But what we have to do is make sure that our alternative students have the support they need. So if you go back to the definition that I read earlier about equity, it's giving students what they need. We have some students who are parents themselves, right? And some students who have to work. I have a student today come to me and say, I can't stay long. I have to go because I work, because my money has to support my family. And so you have to accommodate in the best ways that you can. So there may be a need for us to have different shifts. So whatever, we don't know exactly what that alternative program looks like. You can't keep looking like what it does because it's not actually responding in the ways that we have or rather need to. What I can say also with alternative schools is that we have just started back in February a STAR program, which is a short-term suspension alternative to keep more students in school. Sometimes in a bigger environment, it's not working out for them, but they still got to be educated. So how do we provide an additional space for them? So we absolutely will be thinking about that. Let me say again, the Parent Advisory Committee, we meet probably once every 2 months. And we spend about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, depending on what the topics are. I want to say here publicly, I would really enjoy more parents being a part of that conversation so that we can get more input. So thank you for the question. Any follow-up to that? Are you good? Danielle Bennett. Ms. Bennett? Upgrading schools, building more schools, will the boundary lines interfere with other districts like Hazelwood? No. So whatever we do will remain within the boundaries of our district. I know that a couple of comments have come to me, and I know that Hazelwood is also thinking about some of this same kind of work in terms of redistricting, restructuring. I haven't engaged much with Dr. Collins Park, but I know that they're going through some of the same kinds of conversations over there. But everything we do will be within the boundaries of Ferguson-Florissant. So here's a question, Ms. Judy Ferguson-Shaw. Your question was, have you given any consideration to joining the STEAM school to McClure South Berkeley? Absolutely. In fact, we were looking specifically at MSD before we even looked at North, where our current 8th graders are going to go to 9th grade next year. One of the things that is really key when it comes to the STEAM school in particular was, so we only have right now one entry point into the STEAM school, that's at 6th grade. And so we have students who apply, and every year we sort of made it, a new 6th grade class. Next year we have an additional, how many 80 some odd students that will be coming in to our STEAM school. And then our 8th graders currently will be coming over here. We decided to put them here for next year. We had looked at a couple places, MSB was one of those, before as well. We looked at some other spaces, maybe in some elementary schools that didn't have as many students there. We were thinking specifically about the STEAM program and particularly what it offers, right? It absolutely needs to be, if you're going to expand it, a dedicated program. Keeping it here in the long term isn't the best option either. The reason we decided to make that recommendation to the board was because of the numbers of current AP classes that we offer. But what we do want is another entry point for our students, not have a number of parents who are interested in students may not be there right now, but we're interested in students going to the STEAM school. So one of the questions that you saw earlier was just who's eligible to go. So students who've already been identified in our gifted program through our district guidelines, and we also have an application process. We've been looking at some other schools around the country in particular that have similar programs, and we would like to think about additional entry points, probably at 9th grade, as well as expanding that to maybe others. But I think 6th grade is already an entry point. 9th grade will likely be another one. It could be different for high schools based on what we find. What I can tell you about MSB is that we've learned that MSB was built with a capacity of about 800 students. And so it limits the options here when it comes to, what we can do in terms of expanding the program. You want to follow up? So again, it's So the STEAM program is a program that you apply to get to go out and go through the different programs. So likewise here, the students will be here next year, but only the students who are in the program itself will be the students that we serve in the STEAM program. Okay. Right. I'll just defer back to the equity conversation because what I did say before, and I'll say again that we have about 200. Next year we have about 200 students for this grade home. And we have the ability to go to about 275 students based on the building that we have in on the first floor. Likewise, the 9-12 program, we would like to expand that program so that students leave the middle school going to the high school. And so I think one of the comments I heard you say was all the students benefiting from it. And that's absolutely the purpose of us looking at all of our programs, AP, IB, PLPW, career academies. STEAM school is a school that students have to apply to get in. And so even those who are coming here next year will serve students who have gone through that process. Does that make sense? So we'll have the schedule set up for our STEAM students, so they'll move together in the program. No, that's not true.
Can you repeat the question?
So her question was about the students who are moving, who will be here next year at the STEM school, and augmenting, or rather, the students being here in particular, and then other students taking the courses that they're taking. What I said was that students who are in the STEM school in 8th grade currently will come here in 9th grade. So it'll be specifically focusing on their schedule, so those students will move together as a cohort. Now, some of them may take elective classes where they are sharing with other students. But in terms of the STEAM classes and the gifted education, they'll be in cohorts moving together through here. Until the board decides on what the options are that we move with and moving forward. So I'll be happy to talk a little bit more about another question. Angela Mosley. After an option is chosen, will the changes take place in what year? It kind of goes into a question I think I had a little earlier, and it really will be about what that building assessment system is, and then based on that assessment, we'll determine what facility we will be moving forward with or not. These numbers that we put together, so if you look at each one of those options, what we try to do is put pre-K through 2nd grade students in that area. And based on those numbers, depending on what schools get the kind of grade that the board says, well, we'll move forward with this facility, will determine a lot about what time looks like. We can't do anything though until the board makes a decision in October about what the next steps are. So I mean, I could throw a number out, but I don't know how confident I would be in doing that because we won't even know that until we get that data. What I can tell you is that these changes won't take effect in the 18-19 school year, which is the next school year. 19-20, I don't know because it will depend on what that building assessment looks like and what the numbers are. So for this restructuring work, this, board won't make a decision until the next school year, which is in October. And then from there, anything's possible. So, Sam Clark? Yes, sir. So there are always students that are not high achieving. What options are for them? That's a really good question. So we have a number of students who are underachieving. Being underachieving is they have the ability, but aren't going to get their capacity. If you look at data, so I'll just look at our high school data, and I won't necessarily get into a lot of numbers, but what I will tell you is that we have a number of our high school students who in 4th grade, 6th grade, have some really strong academic numbers, right? Like in terms of schools, when you look at their math scores from years in the past. We have students who have pretty strong Lexile scores. Lexile scores are scores that measure their reading side. And typically, and this is not necessarily holding to this number, but typically a range is there. So the students in 6th grade, for example, they should have a Lexile range in the 700s. So every year you have 100. So by the time they graduate from 12th grade, they should have about 1,300 Lexile. The reason that's the case is because in order for a student to be ready for college level material, I didn't say go to college, but to be ready for college level material, when they graduate from high school, they need to have a reading size of about 1,300. We have some underachieving students right now who aren't even touching their capacity. And that's why I believe strongly, and I'm a teacher at heart, I believe strongly that we've got to push our kids to take more advanced rigorous classes. And when they graduate from high school, again, they may go to college or may not, but at least they will have the skill sets that they need. We currently have some students who graduate from high school who still struggle with reading really hard. And we're not doing them a service by giving them a diploma and then walking across the stage and they don't have the skills to be able to function well in society. Those are the kind of concerns that we've been thinking about overall. So it's really about what does our future look like and how we're preparing our kids for it. And the video sort of speaks to some of that. But we have got to get our kids more solid in reading and in math, especially in math. If we're thinking about STEM and STEAM careers, I mentioned coding a minute ago. MasterCard, for example, right there locally, they are looking for people who can code well. Well, Launch Code down in the district in St. Louis, I'm still learning my areas, but I know we've gone and visited. They train people in 6 months to have the skills they need to go and be eligible for a coding job at MasterCard that pays $50,000 plus a year. And these are necessarily people who have a high school, have a diploma, they have a high school diploma, but they don't have a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree for that now. But have the ability to do that work. Well, all we do is send that stuff in high school, right? We're starting. But as Mr. Jimbo said, we're piecing. And we can keep piecing and do nothing. But we're not going to get to the end where our kids are ready for whatever they choose to be. Here's the thing, so many kids, struggle when it comes to academic outcomes. And at the end of the day, what we want is an educated society that will almost ensure what our future looks like. And the only way to do that is through a good, solid high school education, right? Before kids even leave high school, they gotta be there. And so that's the work. That's all the work. That's why we've been looking at staffing and thinking about our early students, our kindergarten, second grade, even pre-K, and serving more of those babies so that they're ready when they get into middle and high school. Right?
So I understand that, we have students that struggle, and they're going to continue to struggle. It's just the reality of the situation. So I'm asking what options are we providing for those people? Now, we have some people in this room right now that didn't graduate reading at the Lexile level that they should have, but they are successful in society. What options are we providing for our students to still be successful in the world, even if they're not successful in our environment?
Yeah, so you're talking about your graduates, correct?
I think that is
Right. kids out there already. And, you know, I wish I could change and give some of those who left there a chance to come back and get some of, you know, what we're getting off. What we have to do is look at, you know, what abilities they currently have and what time we have with them. Let me say it differently. Our seniors, there's more urgency than there is for our juniors. And so, you know, even our AP class, I'll use that as an example. I mean, we partner with McClure Elementary School, MSB, McClure, and McClure North. McClure North, last year, closed the gap for students, especially African-American students who haven't traditionally taken advanced placement classes. More students are taking those classes. Now, students who didn't even think they could do it themselves. We've done some survey work to figure out, well, that kids can have the ability, but just don't have the confidence or even try to identify them to get in some of those classes. We have a number of students who can do whatever they want to do in life, but if we don't give them those opportunities in high school, then it hurts them. So, advanced placement classes now, project leading the way now, even at Cross Keys. I always highlight Eric Brown and others who are doing the work as well, but he does a phenomenal job at exposing our kids to robotics and technology, so they have other opportunities as they go through high school technical classes. So I think you're exactly right. We've got to provide our current students with more opportunities while they're in high school, through those kinds of classes I just mentioned, but also there's some kids who struggle reading, they got to get that support so they can build those skills. Regardless of which options we choose, there will be more. This is from Pam Greenkamp. Did I say it correctly? It's close enough. So regardless of which option we choose, pilots, special needs students. So that's great. Thank you.
I said regardless of the options chosen, there will be more classes in the larger class sizes. How does this affect special needs kids and those that are under IEPs and with staff classes?
So let me say that our students with IEPs are protected well. So whatever their plan is has to go through the IEP process, right? So I can tell you that SSD has, you know, and Don Bohannon, SSD, Dr. Clinton around, she could probably support some of this as well. But so all of our students who have an IEP, we go through the IEP team and specifically look at what their actual needs are. They wouldn't be hurt at all if anything they're being able to look under the things the students who have special needs or have an IEP. One of the most important things the law requires is mainstreaming and at least a restrictive environment. And so what we want to do is to make sure we provide students with access to some of those courses where they are in the regular environment. In fact, we have a number of classes across the district, all of our high schools. In fact, I was going to ask this the other day, a number of our high schools that have students who are pushing in to the regular environment. They may have additional support depending on what their IEP calls for, so that they're in those classes. Whatever option the board chooses, that will change for them. In fact, you know, we even benefit in our regular ed program for students who don't have IEPs from some of the support that students with IEPs get. So it would affect them negatively at all, if anything like support them. So I'll respond. Okay, sure. relationships with our students with IEPs, have sample space, IEPs, so that whatever goals are in the IEPs are aligned to standards so that they are being prepared so when they graduate from high school. And what I can tell you is that many of our students haven't had that, right? Like they have had goals in mind that here's the standard, the standard that all students are supposed to meet, and then here are IEP goals. And we have been specifically looking at students' IEPs to be able to rewrite some of those goals. So whenever we have our IEP meeting, principals in there, and administrators and teachers, as well as parents, it's really important to be clear about what the standards are. It's really important to be clear about what students are and don't be able to do by the time they graduate from high school. And so rewriting some of those goals so that they specifically meet that is really important. What's more important is for students to be clear about what that is. For the parents to be clear about what that is. Nothing is more important than having a student who has a goal and they can prepare so at the end, whether and state definitely it's a state responsibility. So I ask them to get that, but we have to prepare kids for that end. So I hope that responds some, but I know that I get the fear with the size, the worry that's there. And at the end of the day, what we have to do is make sure that we respond to every situation as best we can. I don't think we got all the answers, but we don't. What we do know is that we got to do what the government has been doing.
I want to address the reason this started, and I know there's going to be a great deal of interest on the student school and so forth. What really started is how can we adequately educate every student in our school. And that's what we want to stop. Honestly.
We have students who are predicting now. Well, so no, I are not. So what we look at is their ability, whether or not they are. We have students who are IEPs permanent.
You know, it's just like there's some in the city of St. Louis and other school districts. They have a vision of performing arts academy. There are kids who like that. That's what their careers. That's what they really want to do. My daughter would probably never benefit going to a STEAM high school because that's not what her career that she is out for. So it's our goal to provide a well-rounded education for everybody. So there can be some students who want to go into the science and the technologies and those type of careers. And those classes will still be trickling down into the normal high schools. It's something that's a trend that's already been happening with the introduction of robotics. What's that?
Can't hear the question.
So
Give her the mic, we can't hear the
right
question.
now that what we're doing right now is not working. I mean, there's very few people in this room that say that. So what we're trying to do is reinvent. We're trying to look at for every student to give them the best education possible. This is just going to be the beginning for this. It's one step forward versus standing still. And there'll be plenty of opportunities, over the next several months for us to all sit down together and address the issues with SSD and IEPs and those students who want to go into visual performing arts and those that really want to focus on the STEAM. This is our opportunity to build a class which
high-class education system. What we're doing now sucks. Our APR is the second worst in the metro area. All right? It's time that we take a stand and fix this. We can sit here all day and complain about our school system. We can sit here all night and complain about the education system throughout the nation. It sucks. We've had so many of our students that we're leaving behind year after year after year, and all we do is stand around going, yeah, the change is hard. Yes, we need to fix this. And this is probably the best night because most of the questions that we receive actually have to do with the students and not a building. And I love that because that's the conversations we need to have. And we're going to continue having. We welcome it. I look forward to those meetings when it's focused on the students and not a building, not a structure, okay? Not a class size, a student and how we can make them excel to reach their full potential. So, that's it.
So we have a number of other questions, as in the last thing that we were able to get to. We want to be respectful of time. The same thing we did, push our birthday, and the tour. So I'll be around, we'll be around, if you want to stay and move close in front. And if you have any questions that Captain David asked or answered, we absolutely stay as long as you want us to. We want to respect everybody's time. We said 6 to 12:30, always go to work. I want to take a moment to take about 5 minutes break to get people time to finish. If they want to leave, they can do that. Anybody that wants to go in, I would ask them to come on the front, and I'll be happy to stay as long as you want. Okay, so with that, we'll take a 5-minute break here. And,